Hey comic book fans, welcome back to Comic Book Corner 2.0. And fans, you're back with me, Mike Spider Slayer, getting ready to do that all-important comic book review so you, the fans, can, yes, make that decision on what comic books to buy. Because this week, guys, there is a shitload of comic books, a lot of money to be spent, and a lot of number ones. And today I am talking about a highly anticipated book for a lot of fans out there, especially Laura Kinney fans, and that is all new Wolverine. Issue number 1. Now, we all have known for a very long time that Laura was going to take the mantle of Wolverine, kind of replacing him as Logan is now old and he's just old man Logan. So this book's price point is $4.99, and it's written by Tom Taylor. And Tom Taylor is a great writer. He just recently written Superior Iron Man, and then he also wrote Earth 2 as well from DC Comics, and his writing is great. He really knows how to capture a character, really knows how to write them, goes deep into the character. And when I heard that he was writing this particular book, I was like, wow, Tom Taylor, I can't wait to see what this is about. So now the artwork in here is done by two people. So it's done by David Lopez and David Navarro. The artwork is pretty good. You kind of really can't tell too much that there's two different artists in here. Excuse me. It's not as sharp as I would expect it to be, maybe color-wise, but the art was pretty good. There was some good facial expressions here. The first part of the book I wasn't too keen on, but when you flip through and you get to see Laura, when here she gets a really cool facial expression here when she puts on when you see her in full costume for the first time in this series, she looks really great. And then in these battle sequences and the paneling, I think she was good. Her facial expressions are good, and I thought that the book pretty much hit the mark here. It was a very rainy and dreary type of issue, so the artwork fit where the book was going here. So again, there's spoilers. If you haven't read your copy yet, please go back and actually read your copy, because I don't want to spoil anything for you. But I just wanted to say that this was a pretty good book. Alright, so next. Alright, here we go. Spoilers. Let's recap the story a little bit so you understand what's going on with the story. So first thing, this story takes place in Paris, and Laura is in full action here. We kind of don't know what her story has been in the past 8 months. We just know that she's in action, she's in Paris, and she's chasing something. Someone's shooting at her, and she's trying to protect people here from getting shot or whatnot. Next thing you find out is, bam! She winds up getting blown up by a freaking bazooka. And the cool thing is Wolverine does make an appearance. So if you think it was the last time you actually saw young Wolverine, well, nevertheless, while Laura has basically been pretty much killed and almost killed, and she's healing herself, she sees visions of actual Wolverine in this book. And you get a kind of a dialogue and an interaction between the characters on how much alike she actually is to Wolverine, but how much in certain ways that she is different. And Tom Taylor did a great job with this part of the actual issue, I think, when it came to the characters. And when she actually heals and she wakes up, she's just like, wow, it's rain, it's rain. And I think Tom Taylor did a really good job at actually getting the reader to feel what Laura goes through as she's going through her healing process. And he goes into really good detail about that, and I really appreciated what he did there. So as the story goes along, we wind up seeing that she's healed and she's all better from getting blown up from this bazooka. She goes after these people in this weird mask, these assassin likes, and and she's there's this weird dialogue there where she gets hurt. She hurts the villain doesn't feel anything, there's no pain. The villain winds up committing like a suicide, and then at the same time there's this drone that's flying in the air. And then what happens is, this was something that I did not expect to see so soon in this series, but if you've read the X-Men, I think it's Uncanny X-Men, but if you read Uncanny X-Men, you knew that Angel and Laura are actually a couple towards the end of that series. So now that's where All New and All Different is. It's a little misleading, because it's like, in order to find out how they wound up getting together, you really got to read that last volume to know more. But this really just kind of does start the adventures of the all-new Wolverine here. So he gathers her up. He's flying her across Paris to try to stop this drone. And once again, Tom Taylor does some good moments where you least expect it here, when Angel says he doesn't want to lose Laura. And I thought those were good moments. And she's just like, listen, Warren, I'm about to get vaporized here. I kind of think this is not a good moment. So good comical moments in the book, where usually Laura, I felt, doesn't have that comedic side to her. So she's a little bit lighter in this book, and I felt like she, still has that wise ass Wolverine personality in here too. Again, great artwork when it came to this paneling here, and her destroying this drone was top notch, because as you get to see her destroy it, it was really cool to see this panel, as again, we make it a thing to see how damaged Laura actually gets, which I thought was really cool. And then the concern on Warren's face for her, to show how much he really cares. And again, you get to see her go through that healing process, which was neat. And then we find out here that this person at the end of a book is actually another clone of her. So, and that's the last page there. So what did I think of this actual story? I thought it was a good introduction to the character itself. I like the way Tom Taylor has written her. I like her interactions with other characters. I think I'm going to really enjoy her. However, this story I wasn't so keen on, because it was like we're already dealing with a clone of herself. And it's kind of like, I don't really want to see more clones of Laura running around and her chasing after them. Like, I wanted to see a different type of story here, go after a different villain or whatever the case may be. I don't want to see clones already in a first issue. We've seen clones before. We all hate clones. I mean, shit, she's a clone off of Wolverine, but she's okay. But now that we get clones of herself that feel nothing, don't feel anything emotionally, I was like, I'm really not digging that part of the story. However, this is not deterring me from not reading the actual book, because if there's anybody that can put together a really good story, it is Tom Taylor, and the character in here was perfect. But again, the clone thing, it kind of bothered me a little bit. So we're going to see where that goes. After reading this book, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5 stars. Nah, maybe, yeah, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5 stars. I think it was a solid issue. I really enjoyed the character. Just that overall story was, the storyline was a little bit weak for me. So, but we'll see where it goes. Hopefully it progresses into something much more deeper. And guys, leave me your comments below what you thought of all new Wolverine issue #1. And fans, as always, thank you for watching Comic Book Corner 2.0. Until that next comic book review, this is Mike Spider Slayer signing off. Take care, fans. See you soon. Bye.